much for joining us today. As above, so below. This is definitely Mars Energy. My name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. If this is your first time in my life, I am the pastor and apostle, Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. Those are the Afro-conditional sciences by which we harness and disperse and send energy out. I want to say to each and every one of you guys that this is going to be a live that is here for those that really want to learn what real conjure is, what real magic is, and what spirituality is. What's up there, my Shamari? Sasha Fierce is in the house. And a lot of these lives that I'm going to be doing is getting those that desire to get deeper into their spirituality, giving them an opportunity to get have a kind of behind the scenes without me disclosing mysteries of the ATRs. To all of you all that do not know, I'm scratched into Palo, and some of you guys have been hearing about the cauldrons, and so I'm going to be discussing some of those things and the significance of being a practitioner or a spiritual performer of the ATRs, particularly Palo Mayombe. What's up there, Chris from Philadelphia, my Sagittarius? Then I got my Gemini in the house, Demetrius Clark, and then I got oh, that's Karen O'Brien. What's up, love? I came on today earlier today because of the simple fact that I am very interested in seeing many of you guys elevate your lives, and so therefore I am trying to not only elevate my life into millionaire status, but I am also trying to give other people opportunity that if you don't like your present reality and the things that are going on in your present reality, I am trying to give you different ways and different sciences to achieve that. And to all of you all that do not realize that you have to have, my grandmother used to say this, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And a lot of times when we're trying to achieve certain things, because we're limited on our tools or we're limited in access of how to go about those things, sometimes we linger in situations or circumstances longer than we really had to if we had the knowledge or had the option. These lives are for melanated people. These are for people that practice the ATRs in the church, and these are also for people that have left the church but got church influence. These are for any melanated person that wants to return to their roots. I have been doing magic since I was a child. What's up, Jelly Sweets? What's up, my jam? Yes, what's up, baby? What's up, Monique 444? And Mother Susan, thank you for joining us. Now, Geminis. So today, because this is Mars energy and this is about action, and you guys know that my moon is in Aries, and so therefore I am a person that believes in being proactive when it comes down to spirituality. I also want to dispel misnomers around this particular practice. And I have been, Minister Mario got scratched in the Palo before I did. And so I'm over 2 years in Palo. But I have, within the year, received my cauldron, Centella. I received the cauldron of Zarabanda, and then I received the cauldron of Siete Rayos. And I'm going to explain those cauldrons to you guys. Monique has already placed the membership for those that want to be a part of the Palo community. This is not something that you, this is not a mandate. These are, the purpose of me doing this is because whether, there's a lot of black people that may not want to get scratched into Palo. And they may be, I also want to give the opportunity of those that before you get scratched into Palo, if that is in your path, that you have a better understanding of what the impungos are, the science behind Palo. These are the Palo beads that tatas and spiritual practitioners wear. And we utilize these to form a protection. They're not like Ocha, the big beads, but these are still beads that we use to represent that we're in there. I'm going to tell you right now, in any tradition, especially when you deal with less and less melanated people, they're going to be talking about the house they're in. They're going to be talking about their lineage. I'm here to talk about magic. I'm here to talk about manifestation. Because you can still be in a house, a Rama, and it's nothing but a bunch of junk, and it's no different than being in the church. And all y'all do is talk about each other, pray against, in the church world, they pray against each other. In Palo, they throw, they send their Infumbes, which is their spirits of the dead, back and forth to each other. It's the same drama. So when you hear somebody, unless they're talking about who they're helping and who they're assisting, talking about the house that you come from and the lineage you come from helps no individual person. What it does is just identify the lineage by which you come from to practice in Palo Mayombe. A lot of black Americans get either dumbfounded when they hear people say these things. If you want any kind of advice, I have consultations for that. You can go to my website. Other than that, don't interrupt my live. Now, I do realize that a lot of people do not have spiritual etiquette. And so therefore, before I actually address people, a lot of times I put that in my foremind and I give people opportunity to correct their behavior. What's up there, Ryan, my Libra? And most of the people that you see on my lives are people that are supporters. They're not fly-by-nights. They're not people that just drop in trying to either figure out what's going on or try to get some free information. These people are actually supporters. And so therefore, when you come into these waters, understand that these waters are trained and these waters are occupied by residents, people that abide in what I'm teaching and preaching and sharing on this particular live. And these are predominantly melanated people. So just be forewarned before you come here. This is not a scattered tribe. This is people that we're cohesive here. So I want you to understand that Palo, from the aspect of me practicing it in the church, is something that I'm going to share today in hopes that you guys have the opportunity to witness. And all you have to do is go to my website and become a member. And I'm going to explain that as well. But I want to talk about this. I actually had... No, I don't need the scripture. The Bible talks about the kingdom of God suffered violence and the violent take it by force. And my subject tonight is I really wanted this to be about the force of Palo. Having the force of Palo in your life. And it kind of inspired me with the whole Darth Vader with Luke, let the force be with you, because when you don't understand a particular science and you've listened to other people that have read about books that are really not, they can't, even if there was a true Tata or a Yaya, they can't tell the mysteries and the secrets of Palo in those books. So it's there are certain things that are put in there to sell the book, but at the end of the day, it's not the real raw information because they're sworn to secrecy. So they're never going to put those recipes in those books. So there's only so much limited information that you're going to get out of real ATRs. A guideline, a slither of truth, some outlines of how we administer certain things. But every one of us knows that unless you are initiated into that particular, on this particular tradition, you don't have your divine name, and so therefore you cannot work with Insasi, you cannot work with Centella, you cannot work with Lucero, you cannot work with Zarabanda, you cannot work with Brazo Forte. You have to actually have a name. Your name is transformed, you receive certain things, and so that allows you to function with those impungos. And so I'm going to explain that. And so one of the things that I wanted to do, that whether you are in Palo or not, but if you wanted the benefit of to deal with the forces that are in Palo, that I was offering you to have a membership, and that I would work Mayan Pungos for the benefit of the individual. So I want to explain this first. First of all, when it says the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent take it by force, you have to understand what violence is. So y'all know I'm big on definitions. So violent means that somebody's behavior involves physical force that intends to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Violence is a strength of an emotion or an unpleasant or destructive natural force. So you have to be up under some type of attack where somebody is trying to hurt you, damage you, or kill you in those respects of why you would need that particular type of force of Palo to help you. A lot of times people out here doing death spells and doing reversals behind people just personally do not liking you. That is not a real reason why you should be out here doing dark magic against somebody on your job or somebody, what's up there? That is right. Somebody in your family member. A person cannot like you and not mean you any harm. A person cannot agree with you and don't want to see you down. A person can not find you attractive but doesn't want to impede your success. Everybody in this life does not have to be on your side or see things the way you see, and still not be a threat to your very existence, to your very well-being, to your a lot of times a lot of our problems come from people that actually you think that are in sync with what you believe in. A lot of times the problems that you receive in life, or harm or damage that you receive, are from people that you claim that love you and support you. So being able to discern and being mature enough to elevate your mind and to realize about real life and what responsibilities are. And I am going to say this because I was discussing this with Mother Susan. I told and I tell melanated people, Haitian voodoo and Ocha are the most expensive tradition to practice in. I never said that hoodoo didn't cost. I never said that root work didn't cost. I never said that Obeah work did not cost. I never said that Kabbalah did not. Any other ATR that a person is utilizing to help people or service people out here, I've never told any of you guys that stuff did not cost. I feel that melanated people, because of Christianity, you believe that Jesus paid it all. And so therefore, spirituality from your perspective is a luxury. From the lifestyle that I live, it is a part of everyday life with me. Just like I would get up and pay my light bill, my water bill, my mortgage, my car note, put gas in the car, put groceries. I would also be prepared to service my cauldron, service my Orisha, service my Egun. All of that is a part of the resources that I utilize every single day. That's from the rum, that's from the animals, that's from the incense, that is from the tobacco. All of these things should be an everyday practice. If you are serious, sir or ma'am, about your individual practice. I wouldn't come on my platform trying to be funny, because you have no idea what I have the capabilities of doing and saying to you. I do realize that social media has, especially with men, and I'm going to say this with men, and I want women to listen to me when I say this. You never want to give, hold on, let's take this back. I want women to listen to me about what I'm about to say, based off of Richard. And I want gay men that are into men, or bisexual men that are into men listening. You never have sex with a man that the only time he has balls is when he is yelling behind something, he is hiding behind something, and he wants to pretend that he is in the natural world. This man would never say or do the things that he is doing through social media, or you know how some people yell out their yard or yell from their house or whatever. These are the type of men that you guys have sex with. And you wonder why you will never ever experience what it is to be provided for and protected. Because this is a fragile, masculine man. He likes to hide behind what appears to be tough guy syndrome. A real man knows not to walk into another man's space and not get permission or behave in a way that is trying to be funny. You're not funny. And that particular man probably, this is my opinion, can take dick better than any man or woman that's on my platform right now. Because a man understands rules and regulations, and another man also understands how he would feel if another man did that to him. And that average man would never do that. So when you see men that do those things, or trying to be funny, or stepping out of sight, and they're hiding behind false names and images, like, that's the man. And this is why I have a problem with women that you give pussy and have babies with those guys, because you are helping that man feel like that behavior is manly. This has nothing to do with being masculine. This is how you conduct yourself as a man, as a grounded man. These are not the behaviors to reward. You have no business sucking his dick, male or female. You have no business licking his balls. You understand? This is, I was watching a movie quite years ago, Clash of the Titans. And one of the episodes is that there was a soldier that came from the other kingdom, and he was betraying that kingdom that he was coming from. And the king that he was going to told him, what do he have need of a traitor? And so after he said that, he asked the man, he said, do you have children? The man told him, I don't have children. He told one of his other soldiers, he took this big old mallet and he told him to open up his legs. And he took that mallet, he smashed that man's testicles. He said, you do not need to bring other cowards. See, another man understands that I don't need you on my team because you're a traitor. And I don't want you birthing other traitors. See, y'all don't understand energy, frequency, and vibration. And this is why all this stuff is important. You're birthing and you're allowing these men to recreate these same type of energy. And you wonder why your daughter can't find a solid guy. You wonder why your son can't find a solid guy. Because of the type of men that y'all fuck and bring children in the world. Because those type of men have no problem betraying anybody. They're not loyal to anybody. Their character. And that is for Richard. Huh? Because Richard will be the first one, if I open my leg, he will be trying to take in every one of these inches that I got. Those are the men that go around and buy sports cars and try to come out macho when they won't dick better than a hog won't slop. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that. I don't deal with false masculinity. Now, when you understand Palo, I want you to understand the force of Palo and how it is different than Ocha. And first I want to say, in Pungo, the terminology, and I don't want anybody to get confused. Just like angels, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, Hanel, Sasha. And I'm saying this for Mother Susan so she don't get lost in the sauce because she don't really understand voodoo and a lot of this other stuff. So I try to give things that she will be able to relate to. It's no different than calling, yes, you believe in El Shaddai or Jehovah Jireh, but then you have the archangels, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, that actually interact with man. Well, the Impungos have the same job. Each tradition has spirits that carry the same exact role, even though they may function in those roles very differently. Even in Palo, they have spirits that have to govern love and prosperity and of that such. It's just that they're called different. You know, just like in a family. You know, you got an auntie over here, her name may be Deb. You might have an auntie over here, her name may be Barbara. They both are your aunties, but they got different personalities, but they still the family. They still both of them will whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? One will buy you candy and the other one will buy you dress. But they still in the family. They just operate different in their roles. So that's all I want you to understand, okay? What's up, my 69? What's up, my Boaz? Now, the Impungos are forces. I want you to get what I'm going to say. The impungos are forces and energies, higher spirits emanating, which means that they're sending out that frequency from the force of the Supreme God. Is the maximum force that created the universe. So, which is called Nzambi Impungo. So, in Palo, instead of saying El Shaddai or the Tetragrammaton or the Elohim, you would say Nzambi or the mighty Nzambi. That is the term that is used for the Supreme God. But it talks about the force. In Palo, it is about the force, in other words, the glue that holds everything together. It is the concept of gravitational pull, so to speak, of the moon. Why? If it wasn't for the gravitation, then the moon and everything would not, it would be displaced. So Palo is a force that is utilized in nature as well as the universe that is harnessed by the impungos, which would be considered the archangels if you are dealing with Christianity. It would be considered the, and then Kisi is just the spirits, okay? And Loas if you were dealing with Haitian voodoo, okay? And they were the first to walk and to experience everything on the earth. So impungos are the first basically spirits or energies that were on earth that experienced everything on earth. So if you are working with me and I'm dealing with the force of nature. I'm dealing with the force of the universe, okay? This is why I said the kingdom of God suffered violence and the violent take it by force. That's why I use this concept on tonight. It also says the impungos. Now this is the job of the impungos or the archangels. Were made by a zombie to serve the man, to help steer him. Steer means to guide, just like a steering wheel on a car or a rotor on a boat. Steer it. Steer the trials and the tribulation of life and the tradition. And the Congos teach the skill of the dead. This is why I excel at Palo, because I am a natural born necromancer. So Palo teaches you how to interact effectively with the dead. Effectively. How to bring them in, how to treat them, how to engage with them. Now I say on this, even on my website, these are not your slaves. Niggas. Niggas, listen to me. Stop listening to these other people. You do not want to enslave a spirit. Normally does not work out well for you. Correct, it is primordial energy. But it's the force. It's a different aspect of energy. Just like I tell you guys about women carry the magnetic energy and men carry the electric energy. It's all energy. But even in primordial energy, this particular energy is about the force in nature. The force in universe, okay? They are negas. Christian niggas. These are not your slaves. These are forces of nature and the universe. They're not here to fulfill your pettiness. Their job is to help you, steer you when it comes to your trials, because the earth plane is a testing facility. To the service of man. Were provided by Nzambi, which is the supreme God, Jehovah Jireh, Elohim, okay, to service man, to serve man, and to serve both man and bring his prayers. The job of the impungos, that is Zarabanda, that's Centella, that's Brazo Forte, any of the impungos. Their job is to bring your prayers or your petition to Nzambi or Mambi, which is the masculine and the feminine energy of Palo. There's a masculine side and a feminine side to all of the ATRs. And this particular situation is Mambi and it's Zombie. Okay? The impungos are spirits of nature. All of you that claim that you getting back to nature, you really need to understand the force and the power of nature. Not the energy, the force. It says spirits of nature and symbies in Kisi are important to the practice of Palo. But not only the part of this, much of Palo practice have to do with the dead and how they interact with the dead. Majority, that means 3/4 of Palo, Mayombe, or any aspect of Palo has to do with your interaction with the deceased. Now, I am going to share this because I don't believe that it violates anything. When you hear the word Mfumbe is just a reference to the dead. Mfumbe is somebody that was already initiated into Palo, that we agree to work with that cauldron to help that other person because a lot of times Paleros, people that practice Palo, do not fulfill their destiny. And so they come back and they work with other Paleros or other Yayas that are in sync with their destiny. Because I have a Congo spirit that lives inside of my body. Me and him share this body to fulfill my destiny and his destiny in Palo. And so therefore a lot of times when you get involved in something, you don't understand the path that goes along with being a participant in a particular tradition. So this is why I say that you cannot practice Palo without being initiated, because you have to have a Congo spirit that has to assist you in your magical workings or protection or whatever it is that you're doing in Palo. So it is a spirit of the dead that is that is already initiate and already agreed to work with you in this life to fulfill your journey as well as their journey, to help you succeed. So this is why all of this is important. And I'm going to say this again. Niggas don't like to be educated. You like to use the excuse, I didn't know. And every time somebody try to educate you, when it comes down to a particular science or a tradition, it's uninteresting. This is why I do like white people. Because in order to keep black people enslaved as long as they did, they do not mind going to a seminar. I don't care what y'all think about white people. White people don't have a problem sitting in class for 2 and 3 hours and listening to an orator. Black people don't like to be educated. They like to feel their way. They like to nigger rig. And this is not a tradition that you walk in nigger in there, because there's order in there. And these impungos will quickly, because remember, you're dealing with the dead, which is close to the astral plane. So this means that's why Palo spirit's manifestation comes quicker, because of how close they are in sync with people. That means they chastise just as fast. Just as fast as they help and bless, they also chastise, because they're right in your world. And they know how to interact with that Nganga to make things happen. Black people, my black people, you will never get to the next level not having a teachable spirit. If you are not interested in being educated and sitting down and actually learning and getting clarity, please leave Haitian Voodoo alone, Palo alone, Obia, like it's certain traditions you need to stay with. Wicca. You need to deal with that light energy where you're not dealing with primordial energy. You're not dealing with cosmic energy. You're not dealing with extraterrestrial energy, because the consequences of disobedience and doing what you want to do is going to cost you certain man. Coming into this thinking that your money means something to the Impungos, your obedience means something. Respecting the order of Palo means everything. You're only giving the money for the material that is necessary for things to take place. But these are not slaves. So I want to say this again, because I want black people to stop blaming their life when the truth is you don't want to learn. You want to clip it of certain things. I have been studying relentlessly to be proficient in the magic when it comes to Palo. I don't sit around waiting on somebody to hand feed me nothing. And I ask questions of my Padrino to make sure that I'm in alignment with what I am teaching and I'm sharing. So I can be effective in my conscience with melanated people. So let's get that straight. So the 3/4 of Palo is working with the dead, the Egun. And this is why I am offering it on my website, because this is a way that you do not have to be initiated. That I can help work with your ancestors. I can work with spirits that have deceased, whether removing that energy out of your life or bringing that energy in your life in order for you to have certain protections. Okay? This often confuses people into thinking that Polaros enslaved spirits, that this is not so. There are many houses that work differently in different ways. No more going to the FEMAs of the Impungos. Now, I'm going to say this. Can you ensnare a spirit? Absolutely. Can you enslave a spirit? Absolutely. I do not recommend it. But it is possible. I just do not do it. I have spirit. All the spirits that work with me are willing. They are willing recipients of working with me. That is mean that spirit has a vested interest in protecting you. When you enslave a spirit, that spirit is always looking for an opportunity to betray you. When it's no different than you doing spell work that you label as love work when it's really domination work. This is why men and women, mostly women, end up getting violently beat up in relationship, because they not telling nobody that they got this man up on a domination spell, and that man's soul, that man's spirit or ancestor have broken him free enough, and he attacks the very person that have put that spell on. Some of the domestic violence that go on in black communities are not because black men are violent. It is because black women are out here doing domination work that is labeled love work. And when that man's soul or free gets free, it's going to fight back. And it's going to attack the person, the individual, because the energy has to go back to where it came from. It's going to attack the very person that does that work. So let all these hoes keep telling you about doing certain work on these men, and then find yourself in a box. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what is happening. A lot of these black women that do that kind of work are hiding behind. She's a woman when she is out here utilizing root work and conjure to suppress the will of that man. And when that man's spirit gets free, and there's some gay men doing that bullshit too. And when you get your ass whooped, you're not taking it for the team. Now all of a sudden you want the police involved. When the truth is, that man has gotten free because that man is not in your life because he desires to be in your life. You are forcing that. I like to keep it real on my platform. Do what you want to do, but understand there's consequences the day or the hour that that man or woman gets free. And then their egoons get them to somebody that know how to completely break that. Now your ass is in trouble. So do what you want, but understand there's consequences behind doing spell work. It is what it is. Now, one of the Impungos that I have to offer is Lucero. So Lucero is a warrior. He is the one that brings balance. True, he gives everything. Everything goes through the trajectories to accomplish the works that need to be done, and he is a stabilizer of our lives and our health. One of the things that Palo is supposed to bring to your life is health and stability. All of these people that you see practicing Palo, and they're using these generators, because that's all these cauldrons are. They are energetic generators of the force of nature and the universe. And because they have insecurities, they utilize this force in a negative way. But the true purpose of Palo is for you to fulfill your journey, to give you health and stability in your life. If you want to know what that energy, just like Mother Nature is about stabilizing and everything working in sync. Same thing with Palo. Anything that has to do with nature, any of these traditions are there to bring health and well-being to the individual. Whether that is through the universe or whether that is through nature. That is the true nature of the force. Can it be used to do other than that? Absolutely, sir and ma'am. That's why you should not be scratching everybody in Palo. Everybody is not sane. Everybody is not rational. And everybody should not have access to that force to do that type of damage. He is the owner. Well, let's say his main task, Lucero, main task is of the guardian. His works are the owners of the roads whose openings and closing at will, which marks the roads of light. He has the keys of destiny. So Lucero is about you fulfilling your destiny. So if you go onto my website and you become a member and you want that protection of Lucero, you got to know Lucero is about protecting your destiny. It's about stabilizing your life. It's about bringing health. He also crosses and closes the gates of happiness and misfortune. He owns future and the future. He is a personification of fate, F-A-T-E, or destiny, and death. He is compared in Lukumi as Eshu or Eligwa. Now, why is that important? Because you cannot participate in something when you don't understand the staff or the employees that run the shift. The more you understand the people that run the shift, the more you understand how you get the benefit of participating with a Lucero. My Lucero in particular. You don't have to be initiated to benefit from my Lucero, but you must be a member. Then the other Impungo that I have is Zerabanda. Who is Zerabanda? Zerabanda is a representation of the power and the strength of work. Zerabanda is a popular Impungo and prominent. Zerabanda is represent a raw power that is focused on robustness. That means almost like Ogun, working 24/7. Zerabanda's man and spirit is kept in line with the threat of falling up under the same weapons he provides. In other words, Zerabanda is a warrior, and just like every weapon, because in my cauldron I have all kind of tools, and that it's just like Ogun. Ogun has many tools. Zerabanda is the same thing. When Zerabanda comes for you, Zerabanda got plenty of tools to use. This is not of Zerabanda, but this is Ogun's tools. Actually, you can use this for Zerabanda too, but I don't. But you could. It has all type of different tools that are utilized to get the job done. So that's why that's important. Now, if you want Zerabanda's protection or help, very similar to Ogun. And then I also have, don't have him yet, but I will be getting him. Siete Rayos. I'm only going over the cauldrons that I have for the benefit of those that want to be a part of this membership. Siete Rayos in Sasi. He is the greatest of the Condoleezza in witchcraft or sorcery. He's the major of the trunk of the tradition I have in Sasi. He is the action of burning in all forms, from sailing to the beam. He is an Impungo of thunder, owner of lightning and drums. Royal palm found in the tropics or the subtropics are sacred to him because they draw their energy to the earth. Lightning tempest to press it. So that palm trees attract lightning, basically. The proof is in the fire and in the punishment. Siete Rayos punishes your enemies. So if all of you guys that claim that you are being up under attack by somebody doing conjure and they got you messed up and they got you in the Siete Rayos will bust a cap in their ass, so to speak. And I don't have her yet. I was scratched up on the Tira. That's who I got scratched up under. And I'm going to read it anyway because I was personally scratched up on this particular cauldron. Tira is, it is the energy of fatherhood, wisdom, and justice. He who controls the 4 cardinal points executes all commands of Nzambi. He cannot invoke the vague request because he usually gets angry. He's compared to Obatala. His power is peace, purity, tranquility, mental healing, and stability. So that is the Nganga that I was scratched on to enter into Palo. Mario was scratched up under Zarabanda. I was scratched up under Timotira. But I do have Centella. Centella, my cauldron Centella is one of the most feared, respected, and most essential in Palo. Centella, that cauldron. She is responsible for the doors of life and death. She has the domain of cemetery, and her name implies her works in all kinds of people and plays an important role in the rites of Palo. She's the owner of the sparks, winds, storms, and is violent and impetuous and loves war. She's very similar to Oya. So this particular Impungo, she's actually in she's my mother in Palo. I have her cauldron. It is very similar to, this is a very, very powerful. She's very vampiric. I'm not even gonna lie. She's very vampiric. She rules all poisonous insects, animals. If it's poisonous, she rules it. So I don't like people to step into stuff like, oh, I didn't know that. And so I will be receiving Kubayende, which is Saint Lazarus in Ocha. I will receive his cauldron as well. So I just wanted to, and I'm going to be receiving Brazo Forte, and I'm really getting that cauldron for Mario, because that's who he got. That's who his energy is with. So I'm getting that cauldron for him to be able to strengthen and elevate. And all this other stuff is just my book where I have certain Pati Penbas to do certain works when it comes down to Ocha. So I hope that this gives more clarity. Demetrius said everything Apostle is saying is the truth. Yeah, I'm after I get through with this, I have to I talked to Padrino about getting into Kimbanda. Padrino don't even know what he's like. What in the hell is you need all this power for? I got saints. I got black people that need help. I'm not gonna be unprepared. I'd rather have more than enough than not enough. But Palo is like anything. It can be used for good or bad, and it has all to do with the person like me. If your heart is dark and evil and wicked, you're going to do evil and wicked stuff with the force of Palo. The force of nature, the force of the universe. I particularly want to see people cleansed. I particularly want to see people in better states. I'm going to use Palo to help me and those that want to get into millionaire status. Palo is not cheap. It may not be as expensive as Ocha or Haitian Voodoo, but nonetheless, all of these scientists cost. And these Impungos are not slaves. They are divine forces of the universe and of nature. Hold on just a minute. We use these they use Impungo to cleanse and to protect. It is going to be very difficult for somebody to hurt you. Not impossible. And that's providing you access to these Impungos. Once every cauldron I get will be a part of the membership. You won't have to pay membership twice. if I get 5 more cauldrons, you will still be able to give donation towards getting support or help or that force in your life. That is a force. I need y'all to understand. Let me read this. A force, by definition, is the strength or energy as an attribute of a physical action or movement. You will be able to have the force of Centella, the force of Lucero, the force of Siete Rayos, the force of the Nganga. Now, my magic in Palo is also tied to Haitian voodoo. So the cost is going to be there because my particular Mfumbe is, what's up, my Natasha Foster? My particular Mfumbe is a part of all of those cauldrons. So I got to make sure he's right. But when you bring the strength and the energy, and it also, when I say, I want y'all to think about Darth Vader, may the force be with you. I carry the force of nature. I carry the force of the universe through Palo. This is why I say the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. When you come in with the strength and the power of the Impungos, and that is centered around the dead, that is powerful conjuring. Powerful conjuring. And that's what has been happening with my transformation. Having I got Siete Rayos on, I think Monique told me it was August the 15th. And so in those 21 days, that force has been harnessing in my body. If you want to work with these spirits and not be initiated, you're going to be able to do that. I have certain things that I do for certain people because they support me and they do great graveyard work, and so therefore I don't have a problem with that. But your individual workings that you want to work with the Impungos will go through my Cash App. But to be a member, you have to go through my website. You need an order number to prove that you are a member of our Palo family. I'm going to also have a family of Orishas that if you want to work with those particular Orishas. I'm also going to have my voodoo spirit there if you want to have work with that. I am doing that for melanated people. You have absolutely no excuse to remain in the realities that you're in. You have no excuse because you can't afford to go through the initiation or you're not healthy enough. I'm getting the things that if you have health issues that you want support, whether you want it through to get help through Lucero, whether you want to get Kubiande. I'm gonna get the name right eventually, but it's St. Lazarus in particular. You're gonna have access to that. I get that from my mama. I'm tongue tied. She always say, you know what I mean. But I'm doing all of this that melanated people will have absolutely no excuse. If you can't afford the initiations or the scratching, you can afford the work. You have no reason to be impoverished. You have no reason to be defeated by your enemies. You have no reason to be ignorant. End of story. What's up, Alicia? Kubiande. Thank you, Demetrius. I have it right it's ringing in my head, and then it come out my mouth crazy. 10 minutes. Somebody send me a cash app. That's smooth, Stormy. I just saw what Stormy put in there. Hold on. I got that. Put the charge on this phone. My point is, I'm not just out here doing stuff. I'm a student of the craft. I like to excel at whatever I'm doing. I like to utilize my creativity, but I don't. You can't bring creativity until you know the foundation of a thing. You need to know the purpose of a thing. It doesn't matter what other people are using Palo Mayombe for. I'm telling you what it is. I am telling you, just like I'm telling you what Christianity is. It don't matter how other people have used it. Just like I'm telling you what Obeah is. Most of our African tradition works with nature and different aspects of nature. Nature is God, goddess. And so in the understanding that there's so many different type of energies that are in nature, just like there's so many type of energies that are inside of the universe. And so the more you understand your microcosm of the universe, then you're able to tap into these other energies. I have been sleeping because I've been tired. Because of the I've been studying. I had to go to the water today, do my cleansing. And so getting back in, getting my body ready for this last phase of these 21 days with Siete Rayos. Knowing what to feed them, knowing what to do. What did my and I'm just being straight up with you. Kobiende is the Lord of Death. Cynthia is the Lady of Death. Y'all know that I'm a necromancer. That is my domain. That's what I do. So ain't nobody talking, oh, wait a minute, Lord of Death. You know, he's a king. He heals. He removes sickness. He removes all of these other things. This is why our traditions have been labeled as demonic, because Caucasity does not understand the sciences of the universe, okay? And how the Impungos rule that world. And so one of the things I told Minister Mario when we were dealing with our first Madrina, I said, God is going to fix it where we get everything we need regardless. It don't matter. I'm a person like this. I don't care who try to keep me from getting what I need. I know I'm going to get it. I already know I'm going to get it. And so that's why I was telling him. And so even though he has went into the land of the ancestors, I'm going to still make sure that he has his cauldron. I'm a man of my word. Even in death, I'm going to keep my word. So if you wonder why I still do certain things for Minister Mario, it's because I gave him. All right. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you guys later. All right. God bless.